Hey guys, JJ Hotcakes here. I'm gonna react today to Wolters World, the don'ts of visiting Miami, Florida, my hometown. So let's see where this goes.
Hey there, fellow travelers. Mark here with Wolters World, and today we're here on South Beach in Miami Beach. And today what we have for you are the don'ts of visiting Miami, because it doesn't matter if you're
There's a
coming
lot
here
of
for a
don'ts.
weekend away, a bachelorette party, or you're coming through on a cruise. There's some definite do's and don'ts when you come to Miami. And my first don't for you,
Let's
for
see.
anyone that comes here, is don't forget to look at your bill when you go to the restaurant. Why? Well, service charges, i.e. tipping,
Did you see that? 3 mojitos for $60. Three. Man,
may already be added onto your bill. Here on South Beach, everywhere we went, 20% already added on, 21% already added on.
yeah, I used to live in South Beach, and just like getting stuff, they add the extra tourist tax of an extra 7%, and you have service charges for everything. It gets rough.
Whether it was drinks, whether it was a bar, whether it was restaurants, whatever. So make sure you're looking to see, because they'll still have a little place for you to write tips, like more tips on your bill. So you might end up tipping 40% on a bill and not realize it. So do take a look. Now, it's not everywhere. Like here on South Beach, yeah, it was pretty much everywhere. But we were in downtown Miami, we ate this great Peruvian restaurant, didn't have the service charge already
It's
on
probably
there,
a lot
so
better
we
than
needed
that
to
looked.
write it in. So just have a heads up with that, okay? And I
Heads
think
up.
another important thing when you're looking
On
at
point,
service
Walter.
here in Miami, don't expect great service when you're here. I mean, I'm not going to lie
Hey,
to you.
hey.
I've had multiple people come up to me.
Well, this
Actually,
place is Versailles. It's really famous. It's on Calle Ocho. Overrated.
I bumped into two of my old students, Maggie, who's getting married, and Tiffany, and they're like, Mark, please make sure you mention how bad the service is here in Miami. You're going to have to wait. It's going to take time, and people aren't going to really care if you're happy or not with your service. Now, it's not like that everywhere. I mean, it happens a lot on South Beach, but it doesn't happen everywhere in Miami. But just know that service is not going to be like wowing you when you're here. And maybe part of that is because they already know that that 20% service charge is already charged on. But just something to have a heads up on. So have some more patience with your waiter. Know that it might take a
Yeah,
little
you
bit
gotta have a
longer
lot
to
of
get your
patience
food,
out
longer
here.
to get your drink. It's
It gets
Miami,
rough.
man. What else are you going to do? We're here for the
Just get
beach. We're here for
ignored.
the sun. We're here to
And
relax.
if you don't look like you're gonna
just have a
tip
heads up for
because
that.
you're obviously in
And
your
I guess since
beachwear,
I'm here on
just look
South
like a
Beach, I
regular
think
guy,
we
and
should
the other
really
guy
talk about
looks like he's
some of the
got
other
some money
kind
on him,
of
they're gonna
going
lean to
out
that.
don'ts you want to make sure you don't do. One, don't do the bottle service. Whether you're going to a cabana thing or you're going to a bar or a club, you will
Yeah,
save a
bottle
lot
service
more
is
money
crazy.
if
You
you
can
just order
buy a
drink by
bottle
drink
anywhere.
versus the bottle service. Also, another thing they'll do is you'll
This is
go
Coral
to
Gables,
a
though.
South Beach restaurant or bar, and you'll order a beer. Like, oh, well, they're like, what size? Medium. Like, well, we've got a 2-for-1 special with the large beers, or a 3-for-1 specials with this, and you're thinking, oh, that's going to be a deal. Sure, I'll go for that. But you'll notice they don't tell you the price, okay? So my don't for you is don't do the 2-for-1s, don't do the 3-for-1s
Yeah,
without
special's
looking
not
at
a
the
special
actual
in South
price
Beach.
for that
It's just
deal.
another way to
I
get
know my
ripped
friend
off.
and I'm like, I have to see how much it's going to cost just to like check it out, because I was ordering a medium beer and the lady's like, oh, we have a 2-for-1 large beer special. I'm like, all right, I got to see what it is. And I'm not joking, for 2 big beers, I mean, they were big beers, I'll give them that too. When the 2-for-1
All right,
thing
Walter.
happened, I still paid
There you go.
$45 for 2
We're
beers
living out
and
there.
a service tip and taxes added on. But what's great with those 2-for-1 deals or 3-for-1 deals, they always like to bring you the check and say, look how much you saved. This would have been $90 and you only paid $45. I'm like, for 2 beers, you got to be crazy. So don't fall for the 2-for-1 or 3-for-1.
Yeah, $45
Make sure you're
for
looking
2
at
beers.
the menu to see what the real prices are. And another thing is, when
Wow.
people here on South Beach, I mean, this gets happening like during the evening times, and a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to spend all this money on alcohol. I'll just go to the CVS, the Walgreens, and go buy some alcohol in the evening, and we'll just drink and do that. Oh, no. My don't for that is, don't expect to be able to buy alcohol, at least here on South Beach, after 8 o'clock at night. They want you spending that money in the restaurants, in the bars, and so it's not open. I mean, there's a CVS right over there that I've been multiple times, and I have multiple people ask me, hey, where's the alcohol, man? I'm like, look, they don't have alcohol at that CVS on South Beach. If you walk down there and take a right, there's a Walgreens that has an alcohol annex, but it has to be separated. So just be ready for that. So
Yeah, it's
pick
really
up
weird.
your booze if you want to do that and save some money. Pick that up before 8 o'clock at night. Now, my next don't for you is something that I'm sure everybody that's from Miami really wants to make sure I say, and that is, look, don't think that South Beach is actually in Miami. I'm actually in Miami Beach. South Beach is in Miami Beach. You go over this causeway.
Yeah, it's like
from
15
Miami
minutes
to
away
Miami
from
Beach
downtown
to get to
Miami.
South Beach. So don't think The South Beach is actually technically in Miami. I mean, it's in the Miami metropolitan area, but just have a heads up for that. And also, I think it's important to say is don't think that Miami is just South Beach. Look, this city has a lot of different
Oh
areas for you
yeah,
to go explore.
yeah. Look, Miami. If you're coming to Miami for like a week or something, if you're coming for the weekend, just go to South Beach. It's fine. If you're coming for a week, and you're coming to Miami. There's a there's a ton of stuff you can do outside of South Beach. Plus, there's much nicer beaches if you go further up north. Dania Beach, Hollywood Beach, more chill, a lot less people. You don't get taxed on drinks like that. And on top of all that, you can go to Wynwood and hang out if you want a different vibe too. That's like the art district. So there's a lot of different options.
I mean, yes, you can go to Little Havana, which I'll talk about later, and
Little Havana.
with Cayocho, and you can go to the cigar factories and the cigar shops, and you go eat some great food and drink and make merry when you're there. But the thing is, it's more than that. I mean, you can go to Coral Gables and see the nice shopping that's there. There's some good eating there. You got the Key Biscayne. I mean, heck,
Yeah,
you
some
could
good
get a
food
car and go out
in
to
Coral
the
Gables.
Everglades and
That's
do
for
a
sure.
tour out there. I mean, there's a lot of things to do here in Miami that's not just South Beach. And the thing is I think it's really important also to mention that don't think Miami is just a crazy party, heat, and kind of place 24/7. It's not. I mean, it's pretty
Yeah, it's
chillax
not.
here in the morning on South Beach. Yes, this part of South Beach on
Yeah,
Ocean
South Beach
Drive
in the morning
gets
is
crazy at night.
chill,
But mostly
super
on the
chill. But
weekend.
weekday mornings,
During the weekdays,
weekends,
out of tourist
still
season,
wild.
it's pretty chill here. And if you actually go south of Fifth Street, and you go down there's like really chillax restaurants. Like it is night and day, this part of Ocean Drive versus going south of Fifth. And you go throughout the city and you see that, look, Miami's a real city. It's not just a tourist destination. You go to downtown Miami, I mean, you got really cool museums. You got the Frost Science Museum. You got the
Yeah, the
Perez
Frost
Art
Museum is
Museum
dope.
of Miami and Dade
I like
County.
it.
You have like good stuff to see down there. You
Took
go
my
to the
daughter there.
planetarium with
She had a good
Frost.
time.
I mean, there's a lot of things you can do downtown. Or you can go to, Brickell, and you can go down there and have a good time and hit some bars up there. It's not all like party, party, party. It's real people having real life doing real things. And you'll see that when you explore, especially outside of South Beach. So don't just stay in South Beach. Go out and explore more. Now, when you're looking at times to come to Miami, I want to tell you right now, don't come in July and August. The heat,
Yeah.
humidity, it's just, it's Florida.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
you got the
not-
Everglades not
it's
too
too
far
hot.
away. I mean, it's just like, I'm melting. You will feel
It's
that
too
way
hot.
in
I don't
July
even
and
go
August.
outside in
I mean,
July.
and then you have hurricane season, which is, kind of like July through October, early November, somewhere around there. I mean, there's times you don't need to come if you don't have to. If you can plan your trip, I would say December through May is fantastic because you got great weather. Restaurants are still going. There's still stuff happening. So that would be my preferred time to come because I'm more built for you're going to die when it's 105 degrees outside.
Yeah,
kinda
I'm
guy.
built the
So
same way.
have a heads
So
up
I
for
know.
that. Now, another don't I have for you, and this is my friend Adrian, who's actually from here. Is like, Mark, please tell people, don't drive in Miami if you don't have to, because the driving totally sucks. And finding parking is not really a fun thing.
Yeah.
And when you're going
I mean, it's
around,
easy to
you see
drive
there's
through
tourists
Miami.
that are here, there's
Drivers aren't
going
as
to
bad
work,
as they
there's
say.
traffic jams all the time. It gets really
But
kind of
yeah,
frustrating. So
it's
if you can,
a
you
pain
can
in the
use
ass.
Uber and
There's a
Lyft
lot of
all
traffic.
over town. It's super simple to do, and they're
And the Uber's
relatively
expensive,
quick
so
in getting you no
I
matter
don't know
where
about
you
that
are in the
either.
city,
And
which
there's
I thought was
the
wonderful.
public transportation
Another
here
thing
is
that really
terrible.
gets you with the driving is you actually see people that'll come here and they'll rent a Ferrari or a muscle car and they'll be like, yeah, I'm cool. And they'll rev it and drive it. And, sometimes they know how to drive it, so it makes it a little more complicated. So just don't drive if you don't have to. And the thing is, if you're driving into Miami, another don't I have for you is don't think that valet parking is going to put your car in someplace super special. Because a lot of times what it is they're just going to go park your car in one of the normal garages, okay? So it's not
Yeah,
like
they'll
you're
park
in a
it right in front
super
of you.
secret,
They'll just leave it
valet
right there.
garage. It's probably just a municipal garage, and they're just going to triple charge you for the privilege of them parking for you. Now, I'm not going to say don't do the valet parking because it can save some headaches, but just have a heads up for that. And I think that gets me into another one. Don't forget your usual travel safety when you're here in Miami. You don't leave anything of value in your car. You don't leave your stuff unattended when you're on the beach because things do disappear. Also, if you're going to be going out at night, don't think, oh, I'm just going to walk those 20 blocks or whatever to get in there. It'll be fine. Take the Ubers, take the lifts, take the taxis so you are safe. And now let's
Yeah, at nighttime outside of South Beach can be a little dangerous anywhere in Miami. So just definitely plan your route home before you get drunk or before you get too much of that party in you. You're having a good time. Make sure you already know how you're gonna get home.
see another don't when it comes to safety is don't forget your sunblock and sun protection. all year round. It's not just when you're going to South Beach and hitting the beaches. If you're walking around Little Havana for a few hours having drinks and eats and loving life, well, you're still going to get burned. So make sure you're putting lots of sunblock on, reapply it often, have a hat. You know, you want to be safe when you're here because the heat and the humidity can really get you, but it's truly the sun that can be really dangerous when you come here. Now, speaking of Little Havana, my next stone for you is don't skip out on Cuban culture when you are here in Miami. I mean, there's so many fantastic Cuban.
Now, my family's Cuban. I was born in Miami, but my family's all Cuban. So, yeah, don't skip on the culture. The food is really good.
Restaurants that you can go to. Yes, you have a Cuban Santa if you go to Versailles, and you have, you know, it's ham, it's cheese, it's mustard, it's pickle, it's got pulled pork, it's on Cuban bread. It's fantastic. That's a must.
I would say Versailles is pretty mid. You can go across the street to La Carreta. Really good. And don't forget the Cuban coffee.
But there's a lot of other great Cuban food when you're here. Anytime you get the croquettes is always fine, but my favorite is the lechon asado, which is roasted pork. Oh my God, it is phenomenal.
Walter knows what's up.
Another great thing I love is vaca frita, which is like really, really thinly cut steak. It means cow fried. I mean, it's so good. And if you get tostones or just plain old plantains, I mean, there's just so much good Cuban food when you're here. So don't pass it up. You can get Cuban food all over the city. I mean, yes, you can get it here in South Beach. It'll be overpriced, but it'll still be good. But you can get it all over. But I suggest, you know, going to Little Havana and have it there. And when you go to Little Havana, walk down the street, you know, Calle Ocho, you know, go through there. You see their little walk of fame that's there. You see all these little, you know, the guys playing dominoes like you see on TV. I mean, it's like, hey, wow, this is just like what I saw on TV all the time with Miami. And when you go there, restaurants, bars, you go to the Bay of Pigs Memorial that's there. I recommend reading all the plaques that are there to truly get a better understanding of the community. They have all kinds of little, you know, places that'll help you learn more about the community. Go visit some of the cigar factories, the cigar stores that are, even if you don't smoke cigars. I mean, I don't, but I enjoyed going to it because I got to learn something. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can enjoy with Cuban culture when you're here. Having said all this great Cuban stuff you can do when you're here, another don't I have for you is don't think it's just Cuban culture when you're in Miami. You have a large Haitian population that's come here. You have a large Puerto Rican population that's come here. So there's a lot of different stuff you can have. Yes, you can have mofongos when you're here. You can have some fantastic Haitian food when you're here.
The melting pot of Miami is crazy.
I've had in my entire life here in Miami in Coral Gables. I mean, vegan food. I was at was it Full Bloom Vegan. I mean, Chris, the chef there, is fantastic. Just blew my mind. So you can eat really well, and so you can eat really well, and don't think it's just Cuban food, and it's just great food from all over. Now, my next stone for you when you're coming to Miami is don't worry about fitting in Miami. Miami is made for everybody. You've got the Golden Girls retirees. You've got the, you know, bachelorette party people. You got the fat, overweight, middle-aged guys are just coming here to eat and drink and have a good time. I mean, it takes everybody here in Miami, and you can really relax when you're here. That's what's cool about it. It's a big city where you can still chill out. I mean, that's one thing I do like about it here. And they're happy to take anybody that comes. So that's one of those nice things about Miami. It's really welcoming, except for the service, which sounds silly, but when you're here, you'll understand. And then I want to finish off with one that for a lot of cities around the US, this isn't really a big helpful thing, but don't forget that Miami actually has a lot of public transport that you can actually use. Yes, there's the above ground trains.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in downtown Miami, you want to get to
you'll see these trolley buses that you can ride on.
You're anywhere else,
the neighborhood. And a lot of times the public transportation
it's not worth it.
Free. So it's
like 20, 30 minutes for each bus to pass.
Because if you're here in the summer and the heat's beating down on you, why not hop on that trolley in Coral Gables and go a little bit farther and save yourself a few sweaty armpits, and so you can enjoy a few more mojitos and a few more fantastic.
All right, guys, and that's a wrap. Wolters World, I love this guy. He's really good. He has a lot of travel channel videos, a lot of do's and don'ts, a lot of just a lot of information. I've watched him before I went to Peru, and it was great. Really helped out. Really, like, if you have any doubts or questions of how a place might be when you go, I'd say Wolters World is a good channel to follow. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Bye.